Euclid. He's pretty neat, some dude once said. This is his most famous book, and him looking like a very sad boy, and then him also looking like a very sad boy. This entire presentation is by me, Ethan C. Who was he? When did he live? He was a Greek mathematician that was actively working from 323 to 270-ish BC. Little is known about his birth or death. One Arab biography that is believed to be sketchy at best says that he was born in Tyre. It is presumed that he died in Alexandria. Some historians propose that Euclid was a group of mathematicians rather than a person, due to how little is known about him, which is highly unusual for the period, but this is a generally opposed idea. What did he do? What is he credited with? He is known as the father of geometry. He wrote Elements, which was a multi-part book series compilation of earlier math theories. This ended up becoming one of the most important books in math history, and led to the creation of what we call geometry and Euclidean geometry. And speaking of that, Euclidean geometry, a method of geometry that was so good, previous methods were lost to time. Quote, its improvement over earlier treatments was rapidly recognized, with the result that there was little interest in preserving the earlier ones, and they are now nearly all lost. End quote. It's a style of geometry that we still use to this day. Euclid wrote many books, including Data, which is related to the Elements book series, on divisions of figures, which was about division of geometric figures into ratios, Phenomena, treatise on spherical astronomy, and last but not least, Optics, which just imagine the first thing we did in physics, and that's what it was. Books that have also been written by Euclid include Conics, Porisms, Sudaria, which was a book on logical fallacies, Surface Loci, on Heavy and the Light, on Balance, and a third book that was related to the last two. Any details about him that make him seem more like a person? This is really quite tricky because there's hardly anything written about his life, and he is credited by many mathematicians that followed him. This leaves little in the way of the human elephant, and makes him seem more like a myth, kind of like Socrates, except more was actually written about Socrates, and what he did, and his habits and all that. Connections to what we learned. Not used this year, but Euclid's algorithm is a way we calculate the greatest common factor. Since Elements is a compilation, it includes some earlier proofs and popular proofs, such as triangle angle sum theorem, Pythagorean theorem, and Thales' theorem. Also, Euclid completely described Platonic solids in the Elements more in depth than was before. And also, sue me, I used Wikipedia, and maybe that's why this presentation is so bad.